and welcome to the Late Night Knits podcast with me, Alex. So today I'm going to be showing you lots of really cool stuff. This is a podcast about knitting, the fibre arts and other crafty things, and I've got loads of stuff to show you today, so I'm really excited for you all to see what I've got. So today we've got a bit of a south of England theme. I'll be talking about people from Brighton, Devon, Cornwall. So yeah, we've really gone down south today. And I don't know if any of you are like me, but recently I've really been doing a lot of TV knitting. So sort of not boring knitting, but simple enough that you don't have to concentrate or worry about it going wrong sort of thing. And I've been watching Poldark, which is a period drama set in Cornwall. It's got Aidan Turner as Poldark, and then I don't know who the woman's name is, but the lead actress is amazing in it. And it's all about the copper mines and yeah, so people in Cornwall. And I actually was looking at the Heritage Crafts Association not that long ago, and apparently one of the reasons that they can keep doing some heritage basketry is for things like Poldark. So those period dramas are really helping keep our heritage crafts alive, which is really great. Oh yeah, I've been watching Rick Stein's Cornwall, and I went to Cornwall years ago with my friends and it was really nice. We had a lovely weekend. We had like the perfect weather, and we went to, I remember if we did visit Padstow, but that's where Rick Stein's restaurant is. So this Cornwall programme is really nice. It's all about food, and yeah, it's just really nice to watch, and it'd probably be good for some TV knitting as well. And yeah, so I was thinking about Devon as well, because so the pattern is called the Ebel Shawl, and it's by Sleight. And I thought originally it would be really funny if her name was Alice Sleight, because it sounds like my name. But yeah, Sleight, and she's a designer. She works, I think it's part-time for Pom Pom, and I wrote something down. Yep, she's from West Sussex, which I've only ever been to East Sussex, where they have this amazing medieval festival, but it's just lovely down there. The countryside's really beautiful, and that's where she comes from. She was really nice talking to me on Instagram, and she went to the Royal College of Art and she does art sculptures. If you go on her website, it's Alice Sleight, and I'll put it here, alicesleight.com, and she's on Ravelry as might be A.L. Sleight. I'll put her name written down here. So this is what I've done so far, and it's sort of a trapezium shape, and it's really nice. You're just doing increases and it's back and forth in the flat, just garter stitch. And I've used these beautiful John Arbon yarns. So this is bit of fluff. This is blue spruce, and this, I can't remember what this one's called, but it's like a rust colour. I'll put some close-ups in for you. And this is woad, which if you're into natural dyeing, you'll have heard about woad. And barley, which is a bit darker than I expected it to be from the picture. It does show quite a contrast, but it's a little bit darker, I think, than that. If you sort of look at it next to mine. I really love that this pattern just has 2 pages, and it's like a booklet, and it's glossy, so it's waterproof, so that's really nice. And this, yeah, it's getting to be really swooshy. This is following the Devon theme, the south of England theme. This is John Arbon yarns, and I don't usually buy yarn kits, but I did buy a yarn kit, and I was quite surprised. It came in a project bag, so that's really lovely. It's drawstring, it can hold all the balls of yarn in, and it's, yeah, I think it's cotton or linen or calico, that sort of material, and it's just really nice. So they have a mill in Devon, and from the videos that I've seen on other people's podcasts and things, they just seem really fun. If you've ever looked at their open days and stuff on their Instagram feed, it's really nice to follow what they're up to. And this is an Exmoor and Falklands Merino blend. So you've got this black running through with the different colours, which I really enjoyed. So far it's really lustrous, because it's this lace weight, and it's quite slippy, I suppose, because it's so silky and smooth. It's quite slippy, so I have dropped a few of the stitches off the needles, so because I'm using metal needles, maybe if I used wood needles it'd be a bit better, but yeah, I'm really happy with how it's going so far, and it's not too girly either, and you know, I'm not really a pink and purple kind of person, so having these blues and greens and autumn kind of colours is really nice. The wool's called Harvest Hues, so yeah, you can get from that the colours, can't you? And I've actually spun up some, I think it's new grass or something that it's called, and that's really nice. A really nice green. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that's going so far. That's been motivating me a bit to finish another work in progress. So every time I've done like a couple of letters on the sleeve, on this Alice Starmore jumper that I'm doing, I've decided that I treat myself with doing some from the other shawl. So because I've been doing this for ages, and I think it's one of those I just need to get myself to just do it and finish it. But it's coming along. So I've done the collar, and I'm just gonna, it was gonna be a bit too small, so I'm just gonna sew it down. I've done the collar like that, which I don't think that's in the pattern, but I lost the book for a while and I didn't. Anyway, yes, I'm not very good at following instructions, but this, I'm just decreasing it down. I was going to take the sleeve, I've knitted up the sleeves from bottom up, but I decided to graft it. I don't think I've put enough increases on the stitches, so I'm just going to knit it all top down like I was meant to in the start. But yeah, be ready for summer. So yeah, that's my progress on that. So I had felt a little bit bad about doing this shawl, because I kind of felt like I had other things to do. I've just finished a knitted headband, and and I kind of felt like I'd earned some selfish knitting. Do any of you get that? You feel a bit bad when you knit anything for yourself. But I did some knitting up of triangles as well, which was a design that I'm doing. I might put some in here if I finished it, but I don't know what it's going to become yet. It might be a bit of a secret design, but I like those triangles. Now I'm going to talk a bit about crocheting, which I don't really do a lot of, but over Christmas I did a paper chain tutorial. I'll pop the link there. And in this project bag that I've got, look, I've got a lovely little kilt pin that someone gave me that's really nice. For one of my, I think it was like a birthday or something, but I do some Scottish country dancing, so that's quite nice. Not that I wear a kilt, but I quite like that. I really like this pin. Right, so these are some of the colours that I've got together for a hooks and tails pattern that I wanted to start. I keep seeing it on Instagram and it's really gorgeous, the colours she uses. So I've got, these aren't exactly the colours that she uses, but look at that, I think they're bright enough for Gentiler. Yeah, all of those. So that's really cool. Yeah, this really is a bit of a crochet party at the moment, because look, I made this hat. I made this crazy cat hat with lots of 100% wool scraps that I had knocking about. So it's just a little scrappy hat, but it was just for a bit of fun, and it had some naturally dyed things left over. I think they're all naturally dyed. This is Sleight from Plorhash Farm. I think I've got some Portland in there. That's a Tormentil from Uredale Farm, so that's not really naturally dyed. Eucalyptus bark and I think maybe daffodils somewhere. Anyway, a lot of my natural dyeing just starts with yellows and browns anyway. So what else have I got? I haven't got the hooks and tails thing, but I'm gonna put a picture in. I might do a bit more later so it looks a bit like I've done a bit more. But if you see my Instagram, there's like a flower section that I really enjoyed. So Jen Tyler, who's the designer, she lives in South Africa, in Cape Town, and she does a really great video for the Midsummer Solstice pattern that I've done. And the pattern has loads of bright colours, and I just thought, oh, that's just what I need, something, and to challenge my own sort of abilities in crochet. I thought, well, I don't really follow pattern instructions, or I don't follow any instructions, I just sort of crochet, double crochet or something and just keep going and make it up as I go along. But I thought if I follow some of her patterns, I think it'll improve my skills in crocheting. So yeah, that's been really good. If you like these, they're from Midwinter Yarns and they have some really crazy colours. I really love them. And yeah, I always think with her patterns, like if you used a dark black on the back and reds and yellows and greens, it'd look like canal art. And if you know anything about the Midlands, we have more canals than Venice. So yeah, I think that maybe that's something I could do in the future. That'd be quite fitting. What I really loved about the pattern was that there was an instructional video as well as a digital pattern, and she goes through it step by step, and she's just really lovely. The puffball bit was a little bit tricky, but I think what she does really turns out nicely, and actually it looks better than I expected. If you're interested in looking at her blog, she has a blog, and that's called hooksandtails.blogspot.com. And I just thought I'd show you some random bits of crochet that I've been doing. So this is a little paper chain there. I don't know where I've put all my paper chains, my crochet paper chains. I've lost them, so I don't know where I put them. Anyway, this I've got, which is just a cowl that I made ages ago. As you can see, I quite like puffball crochet. And, oh, do you know what? That's really making my hair all fluffy. And I had some yarn scraps from Ange from Yarn and Yarn. She sent me a few scraps, and I've just been making a little 4-ply cowl with that, which has been really great. I've just been putting some of the scraps together and kind of making my own colourway. Some of that's yeah, some of it's just an indie dyed blend, and some of it is just a plain colour. So I really liked making that. And then I made this cowl in a different colour because I had some, if any of you have been watching my Instagram, I made some great balls of fire. Well, they're just big balls of, if I had like a load of 50-gram balls, I just wound them up together because I'd keep losing them or just finding one and thinking, oh, that's not enough to do anything with. So I got some Sewit and some Ryland, and I put some South down in that I got from Griffith's Mill, and that was really lovely. It was a semi-woolen spun DK, and it's I've used it on some Santa hat sort of things, and it just gives a really fluffy effect. But yeah, I made this a little bit smaller because I don't know, I felt like this one was quite big, but I could probably even make it a bit smaller than that, just to make it a bit more cozy. It's still got holes in it, so maybe it's a sort of a spring thing or something. But yeah, I really enjoyed making this. It was just really brainless. I don't know if anyone else knows about Shifty McGifty and Slippery Sam, but they are a series of books. Well, they're 2 characters in a series of books that I really love, that I read to my nieces sometimes, or well, did do when it wasn't lockdown. So I just started knitting this toy of Slippery Sam. He should be wearing I've made a little chef's hat for him. And the story is that him and Shifty McGifty, who's another dog, they used to be burglars, but they weren't very good at it. So they ended up opening a cake shop. So, oh, oops. So I put a little bit on his head. So that I could keep his hat on so it doesn't fall off. So that's Slippery Sam, and I'm gonna make him a little chef's t-shirt as well. This is actually how he's drawn in the original pictures, but then yeah, you can just take everything off and put his little chef hat on. And I'll probably try and make Shifty McGifty next. So that's been really fun to just do. And if you ever watch Steven Lenton's doodle alongs, they're really fun. They're based for kids, but he shows you all like how to draw. Yeah, he draws like a dinosaur, and he draws a dragon, and he draws Shifty McGifty and Slippery Sam and all the other characters. So yeah, it's really cool, and I really enjoyed making Slippery Sam. All of this is Portland wool from Armscombe Manor that's dyed with eucalyptus bark from Martineau Gardens, so it's all really local. Except for his hat, which is a bit fancy. It's Shetland wool from Uredale Farm. So as I've been talking about illustrations, I thought I'd just show you some prints and things that I've seen recently that I've just really loved, that I've ordered off online. So there's a lady who lives in France called Wool and Nature on Instagram, and she does some really lovely prints, and she sent me some fabric recently, and she sent me this print, which is just really lovely with the little teapot, and that was just a free postcard that she put in just to sort of write on it. I think she might be thinking about doing a calendar next year, so I'd really love to get a calendar from her because they're just really lovely. She does some there, that one says never give up, and let the beauty we love be what we do, and I thought this is so me. With all the balls of wool. So yeah, those are just really lovely, and I think she dyes her own wool and she does all sorts of stuff. Claire, her name is Claire Van Huykelen. Sorry Claire, I hope I've pronounced that right. And someone else, I don't know if her name's Keith, this lady now, she's called Kieferngruen on Instagram, and she does all these, she does bats, cats, and I think some frogs and like mushrooms. And this is a little, well, I like to think it's a little auntie mushroom and her nieces. And then there's this one as well, which is really lovely. I think she might be from the Netherlands, but I'm not sure. I'll put what her name is down here. Yeah, and she just does, I just put them on my notice board, but they're just really lovely prints, and she does postcards and stickers and all sorts of things, so yeah, I really love these prints. Oh yeah, she does this really cute one. If you feel lonely, think of this little donkey. If you feel lonely, think of this little donkey. Decorate your home, dance around, celebrate yourself, do more what makes you happy, eat what you love. So I think that's really cute. Hello and welcome to Tales of a Beginner Spinner. So in this section I'm just going to show you maybe a little tip or something new that I found out about my spinning wheel, and yeah, hopefully it will maybe give you a little idea of tips and tricks, or maybe you can tell me some better tricks that will work for me. That would be really great. I'm mainly working on an Ashford Traveller, but I am storing an Ashford Traditional at the moment as well, so I won't run out of bobbins. But it's been really fun experimenting with different wools, and I think I might be getting a bit of fleece for Bats for Hats from Balnahard Farm, so that would be really cool. I thought I'd share with you a little idea of what my artwork's going to be for the Bats to Hats Sal Cal Cal, spin along, knit along, crochet along, that we'll be doing later in the year, probably July time. I think that will give me time to sort everything out. So the drive band was a little bit loose here, but what I found out was if you screw the screw, then it pulls that section up and it tightens up the drive band so that the drive band doesn't slip off the wheel. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this podcast. I was thinking recently about what a knitter looks like and what people do, and in my Instagram feed a lot of knitters are outdoors. Maybe they're waiting their car for some shepherding that's happening, maybe they've taken their knitting on a walk or out to a climb, and yeah, just getting out there and doing some really interesting things, wearing their knitting in some really extreme conditions, and I think that's really cool. If you've taken your woolly garments somewhere really exciting, or maybe you remember something from the past where you took your knitting, or a place that you've been where you've done your knitting, write it in the comments below, because I'd really love to hear what's connecting people's knitting to the outside world. I think a lot of people do knitting to pass the time, or on the commute, or maybe you're doing some extreme knitting or outdoor knitting. You know, getting out there, being active, but being a knitter as well. We don't all sit inside just closing the doors, although a lot of us are doing that at the moment. Okay, I think that's everything, so I hope you have a lovely week and take care of yourselves. Alright, bye!
I thought I'd take you on one of my daily walks.